So unexpected to me, the last conspiracy theory I did about Brian Griffin's death appears to have almost 7,000 views. Holy shit. And honestly, I'm not really sure how that happened, but thank you. I guess this is where I do that classic YouTuber shtick, but be sure to go ahead and share this with your friends if you are enjoying my content, or just share it around on the internet, and let's get on with this new theory. So this is probably one of the more out there theories I've ever seen, but it's certainly one of the more plausible ones, and that is the conspiracy that Brian Griffin was formerly a human whose brain was implanted into a dog, and that acts as an explanation for why he is different from other animals. Now, of course you could simply squash this theory and go with the age-old statement, it's a cartoon. But shut up, that's no fun, let's get into the conspiracy. Ever since season 1 of the show, Brian Griffin has been a talking dog with intelligence and the mannerisms of a human, whilst also delving into some classic dog mannerisms occasionally, like licking himself or chasing keys. He is also a hardcore liberal, well, except for that one really catchy song time.
I dream of Republican town, where men to the right of the aisle don't back down. The streets are aglow with the smell of apple pies, and babies come out of the womb in coats and ties.
Anyway, as I was saying, Brian is essentially a human inside a dog's body, whilst existing in a universe that clearly demonstrates normal dogs are a thing. After 19 years of the show being on the air, the mystery of Brian Griffin's rather human-like existence has never been explained. Family Guy has never really explained the reasons behind Brian's intelligence, his mannerisms, and how he is equally comfortable with licking his genitals 1 minute before immediately flipping a switch and enjoying a book with a nice glass of wine. Well, one theory is that Brian was actually once a human who had his brain inserted into a dog's body. It's been established that Family Guy, American Dad, and The Cleveland Show all occupy the same crazy universe.
When can we get some more women in this house for me to check out while they are cleaning mine bowl?
It's also been established that Klaus the goldfish in American Dad is actually a German Olympic athlete who had his brain implanted into the body of a goldfish by the CIA. By connecting a few imaginary universal dots, we can deduce that Brian must have also been a subject to the CIA's brain experiment. This would explain the reason why Brian was the only one in his litter who acts like a human whilst the rest are just mere dogs. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking to you, Betty, or Pessy, whatever her name was, Brian's mum, I don't know. She ended up as a stuffed doll, and that episode was really weird. I gotta take a look back on that one at one point. However, in Family Guy, Brian isn't the only humanoid animal that exists in the Family Guy universe. Some are convinced that since the CIA is able to successfully transplant brains into animals, all humanoid animals in the Family Guy universe must be a result of some messed up CIA experiments, such as Vinny or the Big Chicken. I think his name's Bert or something, I don't know. I really should have done my research better with the names, but you know who I'm talking about when I say Family Guy Big Chicken. Basically, the CIA take the brains of potential troublesome human subjects in society, such as Brian, because he's a hardcore liberal, and insert them into an animal fetus whose brain isn't fully developed enough to hold the human subject's memories. Since it is shown that Klaus the goldfish and Brian the dog are considerably intelligent beings who could potentially pose problems for the CIA, Klaus being able to beat the USA in the Olympics for skiing, and Brian being a hardcore liberal, this brain swapping program is a loophole in which potential threats and problems are dispelled without the use of a lethal force. This CIA program has been so widely used that it is presumed in society that humanoid animals are just a part of everyday life and are no different from the average human. However, one thing that slightly debunks this is that we learn in one of the later seasons of Family Guy when Peter is in hospital, I think with his liver problem where he was like turning yellow. In fact, I remember him turning yellow at the bar at the Clam, but I don't remember if it was his liver or his kidney or what it was. Anyway, Dr. Harmon references a chicken experiment that went wrong and escaped, and Peter replies, "Doc, we gotta have a conversation at some point." So that answers the humanoid chicken theory, but for the rest of the humanoid animals, it certainly makes a little bit of sense. As crazy as it sounds, this theory is very plausible. Something must be going on when no one bats an eyelid at a dog having a relationship with a human woman, or when a man and a giant chicken get into a massive fight all over town that causes widespread destruction and everyone seems to go, oh, yeah, that's just Peter and the chicken again. To be fair though, the world we live in today, IRL, is getting more and more ridiculous, and if I see one more kid do a Fortnite dance in public, well, I may just transfer my brain into a cat and see what happens.